First at 5. From the University of Florida's College of Journalism and Communications, you're watching WUFT News.
UF history is relatively young for a university, but old for Florida. Good afternoon, I'm David Perez.
And I'm Elizabeth Tammy. After 160 years, UF is moving faster than ever in everything from medicine to media. But one man is slowing time down to keep UF's history alive. Anthony Zona has been talking with the head of archives and manuscripts and is here with some UF history. Anthony, what can you tell us?
A lot of things. First off, I'm going to start with the school colors. University of Florida actually started out with blue and gold as their original colors and later transferred to the Gator blue and orange that we know today. I actually caught up with Mr. Carl Van Ness, the historian, who shared some more UF history and interesting facts about UF and world events around it. The University of Florida's story is deeply entrenched in Florida history, being nearly as old as the state itself. Mr. Carl Van Ness from the Department of Special and Area Studies Collections discusses the university's humble beginnings.
Well, the university traces its roots to the establishment of the East Florida Seminary in 1853. And the East Florida Seminary, along with the West Florida Seminary, were the first two schools of higher learning, but they were never actually colleges.
Just like the rest of the country, UF was greatly affected by the Second World War.
But because we were an all-male institution until 1947, both wars had a tremendous effect because these were all draft-age men, and the student enrollment plummeted during both wars.
From a war abroad to a war at home, the civil rights movement found its way to the Gainesville campus.
I think King was probably a more controversial figure for the university in the sense that this was still pretty much a school dominated by white students. I don't think that King had a lot of tremendous support among the student body in the 1960s.
The Vietnam War and the resulting protests impacted America like never before, and UF students were no exception.
I think that the Vietnam War had a profound effect on the university, certainly at other college campuses as well. And there were a number of demonstrations, as well as just people who were very concerned about, with their future, until for many years, the students had a draft exemption, and then they took away the exemptions for college students, and that certainly, the male students here were, very concerned about, what was their future going to be?
School colors are the source of great spirit across the country, and UF's blue and orange is no different, but it wasn't always this way.
Some people thought it was blue and gold, some people thought it was blue and orange, and eventually orange won out over gold. But if you look at artifacts from that time period, you'll see that some artifacts are blue and gold, and then there are other artifacts that are kind of more of an orangish gold. It's one of those interesting questions that we've never been able to resolve.
The Gator is a celebrity in this 90,000-seat arena, but its origins are practically unknown. There are three major stories that do circulate about the Gator's origin. The first two stories revolve around two UF Gator football players, but the third includes a Jacksonville attorney in 1947 by the name of Austin Miller.
His father paid him a visit, and there was a manufacturer of school pennants in the Charlottesville area, and his father wanted to visit and wanted to order some pennants for a store that he owned called Miller's, and in downtown Gainesville. It was very popular. The store was very popular with the student body, and when they got there, the manufacturer asked them what mascot should appear on the pennant, and as we didn't have a mascot, the Millers suggested an alligator.
In 1947, the University of Florida became coeducational, and almost 70 years later, UF is a leading educational institution internationally with a deep and proud Florida history.